Hey now YouTube, Dustin from Dustin and Blake here, doing a little contest response for Joey Brings It, and he kind of wanted you to discuss a little bit about vintage versus modern, and gave a list of 6 cards that were all in that sort of $20,000 range, and asked you to pick which one would you take. And but before I talk about that, he showed off some 1958 autographs in his video, and I told him that I had a couple 58 autographs, so he told me I should show them off. So the first one I have is this Camilo Pascual. Was a legendary pitcher for the Minnesota Twins. Sorry if that's not showing up very good. And the other one is from a Hall of Famer, Whitey Herzog. So that's cool. So these both from my Senators PC. Cool cards. Anyway, the cards that he listed were a T206 Ty Cobb green portrait and a PSA 4.5, a 52 Mantle Topps, and that was a PSA 2, and a 60 Carl Yastrzemski rookie, that was a PSA 9, 2017 Bowman Chrome orange refractor of Jo Adell, and a PSA 10, a 2018 Topps Update Superfractor Shohei Ohtani, which is was a BGS 9.5, or a 2014 Bowman Chrome refractor of Mookie Betts, which was a PSA 10. So all of those sold in sort of the same neighborhood. If I was to take one of those, I would take the T206 Ty Cobb. I really don't. To me, that's the coolest card of them. I think the 52 Mantle is probably the most overrated card in the hobby. But I really do. I mean, I don't see why that card is that special. Mickey Mantle isn't. To me, there's a lot of baseball players that were better than him. To me, like a Hank Aaron rookie card or a Willie Mays rookie card should be more valuable than a Mickey Mantle rookie card. A Ty Cobb T206 and a Babe Ruth Gaudy, those should be worth more than a 52 Mantle, in my opinion. I don't know what the exact population numbers are, but I know there's a decent amount of 52 Mantles out there. All of his cards, I think, are overpriced. A lot of them are double printed, triple printed, and still go for like more money than every other card in the set. So I don't really understand all of the craziness. I get it as an iconic card, a big time card, but I still don't see why, it's up there in the Honus Wagner sort of tier. But as far as excuse me, as far as vintage versus modern, it's vintage all the way. The modern the prospects, you don't know what they're going to do. And even if they turn out great, even if Jo Adell turns out to be Ken Griffey Jr., there's so many cards out there. There's so many rookie cards. Everybody is like taking great care of their cards, sending them off to PSA, getting PSA 10s, and it doesn't. The numbers just don't exist for these vintage cards, and they're not in very good shape. He said you talk about vintage versus modern. He said not to really consider the sort of junk wax era, the late 90s, early 2000s inserts that are sort of big at the moment. But I think we can kind of touch upon that, because the reason why those cards are so popular is because of the age of the collectors and the nostalgia that the collectors have, because they're collecting these players that they grew up watching. And the reason why the Ty Cobb is the least amount of all those cards, actually I think the Mookie Betts sold for less, but the reason why the Ty Cobb is down there is because there's a big disconnect. There's still collectors alive that remember seeing Mickey Mantle play, and there's a lot of people who heard stories about Mickey Mantle from their parents or grandparents, and so there's still a connection right now with Mickey Mantle, and there isn't much of a connection to fans with Ty Cobb, Honus Wagner, Napoleon Lajoie, and the rest of those guys, Walter Johnson. And so I think that's worth pointing out. But as far as where the hobby's headed, I don't know that it's going to change a whole lot in 5 years. I feel like at some point collectors are going to realize that sort of what happened in the 90s is sort of happening to a smaller degree right now. You got players like Aaron Judge and Ohtani and Pete Alonso that are signing autograph upon autograph upon autograph, and it is just getting out of hand. You know, like when Aaron Judge was big, his autographs were more expensive than like Willie Mays, which does not make any sense. Even if Aaron Judge has a better career than Willie Mays, he's going to have signed way more autographs than Willie Mays at the end of the day, because Panini and Topps are having him sign every product, and it's just the market is just getting flooded with some of these younger players' autographs, and they start getting these guys signing autographs when they're in high school. Panini has the USA Baseball products. The 15U kids are signing autographs already. It's just crazy. So I definitely think that the autograph market is getting flooded, and at some point people are going to realize it. The PSA 10 market is getting flooded. At some point people are going to realize that too. And I think eventually, although I think it might take longer than 5 years, I think eventually it's going to start to die off. You're seeing more and more high-end products, less and less products for kids, and so it's hard for kids to get into the hobby. And so when our kids are in their 30s and 40s, they're not going to have the same type of nostalgia that we had for cards. They're not going to want to pick up. They're not going to want to pick up, every Mike Trout card they can grab, or every Mookie Betts card they can grab, because they never really got into collecting. And I mean, it's about the players as much it is about the cardboard, but you have to. I don't think there's very many collectors who are adults in their 30s or 40s who didn't collect cards at all when they're kids. So that's sort of a big problem in my eyes. I hope that this doesn't crash. I hope it doesn't go away. I hope people keep collecting. I hope guys are getting their kids involved. Take them to games. Buy them cards. Man, we went to Twins Fest last month, and one of the coolest things that I remember, it's Carly, my 5-year-old daughter. She's on some of my videos. She didn't have a problem walking up to these players with a ball and a pen and hand it to them. She didn't know what was going on, but I'd asked her to do it, and she was doing it. And a lady handed her a free pack of baseball cards, 2 free packs of baseball cards. And she opened them up, and she carried them around the rest of the day. We went into a restaurant. She took her baseball cards with her. she isn't still carrying them around. She kind of forgot about them, but I thought it was pretty cool. I want you guys who have kids, I want you to get them involved like Blake. And there's so many things out there that kids are doing right now: sports, video games, computers, YouTube videos, all the social media. But take time out of your day to share your hobby with your kids. And they don't have to love it, but at some point, if they see you loving it, at some point they're going to develop some nostalgia for it. And that's what's really going to keep the hobby going. Maybe I got way off track and way off on a tangent, and didn't really even answer what Joey wanted me to answer, but I'm telling him I want the T206 Ty Cobb if I'm choosing from that list. Anyways, thanks for watching, and sorry that I yacked and talked away for 11 plus minutes. See you later.